My discussion this evening, I'm Alexander Hagan. I am the CEO of a medium, small-sized tech company in Silicon Valley. I have a cold today. I'm talking about what I consider the treason of SB 1867, which is a bill that would allow Americans to be detained indefinitely for suspicions of association. And I ask, is it treason to take away from Americans that which it is to be an American? Bill 1867 would have a very chilling effect on people. This is exerted from the Amnesty International site. At issue is Section 1031 of the National Defense Authorization Bill, which would authorize the use of military force against any person who has committed a belligerent act or has directly supported such hostilities in aid of such enemy forces. Let's say that again, which would authorize the use of military force against any individual who has, quote, substantially supported al-Qaeda, the Taliban, or associated forces that are engaged in hostilities against the United States or its coalition partners. So that means we can go to, if I have supported associated forces, okay, support associated forces, and let's just go with against a coalition partner. Or including any person who has committed a belligerent act or who has directly supported such hostilities in aid of such enemy forces. It also authorizes detention under the law of war without trial until the end of the hostilities. Amnesty International has called the language a disaster and extraordinarily vague, allowing the government to go to any militant Islamic group in existence from Indonesia to Nigeria, including foreign political parties who share some of the militants' ideas, but not their methods. So this is extremely concerning. During the Libya war, I was officially neutral over who should rule Libya, believing this is a matter for Libyans to decide, and my job is to look at the exercise of international law in fairness to all as a citizen. And what I found is that the United States made very little effort to engage the Libyan government with diplomacy regarding reforms. And when we see what's happening in Egypt now, where the military, although allowing elections, is also still not ceded power, there's obviously quite a double standard at work between Libya and Egypt and the U.S. Attitude. So you could say that because I was neutral and I looked at a military attacking country 500 times smaller than them in military capability, just absolutely slaughtering everyone in that military with vicious force, utterly obliterating a couple of Libyan towns, in particular Sirte, in a vicious and barbaric manner after the loyalists had been defeated, and then the vicious and brutal treatment of the founder of the country's family. The real founder of modern Libya was Gaddafi in 1969, evil or good. He was the founder of modern Libya. We murdered him directly by arming people and then hitting him with a drone. And then pictures of people on the tarmac there on the lynching site that were in NATO uniform as well, rather. So if you look at it from the point of view of somebody who's in a dissent view about Libya, I have no express preference whether NATO win or not. And in fact, I would tend to wish that they wouldn't win, which would mean that I was giving support against associated forces, against a coalition partner. So let's listen to what Mr. Ron Paul's son, Rand Paul, has to say on this subject.
To return. So we do well to contemplate the diminishment of due process, knowing that these rights that we give up now may never be restored. My well-intentioned colleagues' admonitions in defending provisions of this defense bill say that we should give up certain rights, the right to due process. Their legislation would arm the military with the authority to detain indefinitely, without due process or trial, people suspected of an association with terrorism. These would include American citizens apprehended on American soil. I want to repeat that. We are talking about people who are merely suspected of terrorism or suspected of committing a crime and have been judged by no court. We are talking about American citizens that could be taken from the United States and sent to a camp at Guantanamo Bay and held indefinitely. This should be alarming to everyone watching this proceeding today because it puts every single American citizen at risk. There is one thing and one thing only that is protecting American citizens, and that's our Constitution, the checks we put on government power. Should we err today and remove some of the most important checks on state power in the name of fighting terrorism, well, then the terrorists have won.
And I think that's really what I want to conclude on here, is that, I did my family tree, and if anybody who's got any family who's been here for 100 years or so with a Anglo-Saxon name in it, or even not an Anglo-Saxon name, is likely to have had family that was here present during the Revolution. And so it's really sad when you think about those people and you think about how carelessly people are giving away these rights that were fought for bitterly in a tough revolution. So let's end part one on that note, and I will pick up with you shortly.